Welcome to the final game in the NFC playoffs to determine who will go to represent their conference in the Super Bowl. It's also going to be an NFC West divisional matchup between the 7th round phenomenon, Russell Guzman and the Arizona Cardinals versus the Sheriff Peyton frickin' Manning and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, there were rumors circulating earlier in the year that Eli Manning was on the Cardinals' radar. They wanted another quarterback because they didn't feel confident with Guzman or Gray, but the gamble worked out as Guzman has had a career year and had a very impressive showing against the Saints last week. This week will be a tough challenge. They split their games this season, each coming down to the final drive. How will this one go? As much as I'd love to see Eli versus Peyton for brother superiority, there's already enough bad blood between these two teams. Manning came over this offseason, still unsure how the 49ers were able to nab the future Hall of Famer, but they pull off a 13-3 season, one of those 3 losses against the Cardinals. They'll start their first drive at the 18. Last week, Guzman threw for over 200 yards on only 10 completions. That's an average of 20 per completion. He's a big play savant, takes the snap, rolls to his right, has plenty of time, and finds Fitzgerald open near the sideline. Easy first down for the Cardinals, Guzman continuing where he left off, and I will say the Cardinals really love their rollouts. The coach has been calling a lot of these during the playoffs. The offensive line struggled heavily against the Eagles in the wild card. Moving the pocket is the easiest way to keep your quarterback upright. It looks like a run, left side, nothing going there. Derek Brooks with the tackle before he got back to the line. This might be a tougher challenge for the commissioner. Austin Gordon had 4 touchdowns last week. I'm sure Al Bundy would be proud of him. Guzman in the pocket. He has a receiver open and led him too much. Gross unable to make the catch. Fun fact, the only person to have more than 4 rushing touchdowns in a playoff game is Ricky Watters. Guzman drops back, pumps, has time going deep. Bowen is double covered, and he almost came down with it anyways. That was pretty much an arm punt. If it works, big play. If it doesn't, not a terrible punt. It's going to bring up 4th down next. Guzman tried to fake the safeties, but didn't fool the hardest hitting safety in the league. Darren Sharper with the breakup. Last week, the Cardinals were able to march the ball up and down the field. The first drive here stalled out after a stuffed run and 2 straight incompletions. The secondary for the 49ers covering very well, but missed passes like the one to Gross are momentum killers. The punt will be fielded inside the 20, juke past the 30, and their drive will start at the 32. We'll see what the Sheriff can do. There's an injury. Swanson seems to have an abdominal injury. It's not often you see big-name quarterbacks change teams in their prime. That's what Peyton Manning did, left Indianapolis for the 49ers, instantly giving them credibility. Peyton hands it off to Barnes up the middle and tackled by Jackson after 3 on the carry. Last week, the Arizona defense forced 4 interceptions. I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers are going to try and limit this defense, forcing them into mistakes by being balanced and keeping them honest. Already, it looks like this defense is loading the box and begging Manning to beat them in the air. It's a counter to the left side, has a blocker, but Jackson squeezes through again for a tackle. It's now 3rd and 6. 49ers come out in an empty back set. Cardinals counter with a dime. Peyton sends a receiver in motion to the left side. Manning drops back, throws to his left, and is caught by Doyle, tackled by Griffith after the first. There is a flag. It'll be pass interference on Griffith. The 49ers will probably decline this penalty. That reception will give them a new set of downs at the 43. That was Doyle's first catch in the playoffs. Couldn't have come at a better time. It's another handoff up the middle by Barnes for a gain of 5, getting closer to midfield. Who would have thought that the 49ers would keep the ball out of Manning's hands on the first drive? 3 runs on the last 4 plays. Manning drops back, throws to his left, but Lloyd can't make a play on the ball. Incomplete, 3rd down coming up. They were able to get pressure on Manning on that last play, but they had to bring a blitz. More often than not, pressure creates diamonds, but sometimes for the other team. Manning in the pocket to get pressure again. How did he not get sacked? And Woods drops the pass. He had a step on the receiver, bobbled it, and couldn't hold onto it. That drop is going to bring out the punt unit for this 4th down. 3 pass attempts on this drive, 1 completion, 1 incompletion, and a big drop from one of their best receivers, Woods. Griffith will be the return man, had 2 touchdowns returned during the regular season, hasn't done much in the playoffs, and Arizona will start their next drive at the 24. It's still amazing to think that Guzman is 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl. We put a lot of unnecessary weight on quarterbacks when it's a team game, but there's only been 5 players selected lower than him to play in the Super Bowl. Gordon carries this for a gain of 3. Gordon was selected in the same draft as Guzman, number 1 overall, then taking Gray in the 2nd round. They were supposed to be the future together. 3 years later, and Gray finds himself on the bench after having a rough start to his sophomore year. Guzman took over and never looked back. Gordon takes the handoff again for a gain of 4 on the carry, bringing up 3rd and short. What's interesting is how well Gordon looked in his rookie season. Once Gray was benched, his numbers went down. Clearly there was an impact. I don't know if he got there for the first down. Jeremiah Trotter met him at the sticks and denied him. Oh, they're rushing back to the line. They seriously can't consider going for it here, can they? They're at their own 33. They don't get the first down here, they'll be giving up 3 points to San Francisco. They made an audible at the line. I'm not quite sure if it's a fake or it's real. Guzman is doing his best on the hard count. They can't be running this, right? He makes another audible at the line. They're baiting him, right? Please tell me they're baiting him. Bolden in motion to the left, the play clock is running down, they might just take the penalty. No, they're running a play. Barker with a block to set the edge. He gets past the first down, but he wants a whole lot more in San Francisco territory and downed near the 35. This is why I can't be a head coach. A gutsy play call to go there for it, that deep in your own field, but it worked. I didn't even think they were going to snap it. Maybe the defense didn't either. That's why they were caught off guard. Either way, big play for the Cardinals. He gained 33 yards on that big run on 4th and inches, and Gordon broke off a 40-yarder that put a dagger in the Saints last week. He may not have elite speed, but he's not easy to chase down. Guzman going deep, double covered. The corner mistimed his jump. Bowen snatches it away. Bobby Bowen continuing his surprising playoff run. Last week he had a spectacular game. This week he's doing the same. A lame duck that turned cool. Now also be the final play of the first quarter, and it will set the Cardinals up in the red zone. Neither team able to score, but things are looking juicy. Welcome back to the second quarter, still scoreless, but the Cardinals are in good position for something here. Looks like Guzman makes a change at the line, hands it off to Gordon, gets maybe a yard on the carry. There was nothing there for him. The 49ers defense has held him in check. Well, other than that one run, they've held. There's Swanson still being checked on from his injury earlier. The report is saying that he may have broken ribs. They're going to do some more testing, but if that's true, that will mean he'll probably miss the rest of the game. There's a guy on Guzman, and he gets sacked. What a missed opportunity by Guzman. He had a guy open down the middle, and the pressure got there before he can see it. That's going to make it a very long 3rd down. I wouldn't be surprised to see a draw or a screen. Nobody has scored yet, and any points are good points. Getting a more comfortable field goal attempt for Chavez should be the goal here. Guzman takes the snap, moves to his right, running out of time, throws to Gordon, and lucky that wasn't picked off. It was knocked away. Not a great decision by Guzman. There is a light breeze going to the right. During the wild card, Chavez did miss 2 kicks, both to the right. Probably better it was incomplete on that last play. Good snap and hold. It's up. It's sailing, but it stays in. Arizona will have the first points in the game. It took a 4th down conversion and a huge pass in double coverage where the receiver had to moss the defender in order to get just 3 points. This is going to be a defensive game. Will it end 3-0? Well, for our entertainment purposes, I hope not. This return will be brought back to the 25. We'll see if the Sheriff can answer back, and it looks like the winner of this game will face the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They just snuck by the Kansas City Chiefs 14-13. I wonder if this game is heading in that same direction. A receiver is motioning to the right. Arizona trying to match that side. Payton with a quick drop. Throws and has Woods. It was a bit behind him, slowed him down enough before he can pick up the first. They'll be inches short. Interestingly enough, it feels like the 49ers offense want to win this game on the ground. They hand it to Barnes up the middle, and he falls forward for the first. Leave it to division rivals to try and bully each other. They've only had one game this postseason, which was against the Lions, but their ground game hasn't looked great. I think they're trying to show they won't be one-dimensional. Besides, they are having some success on the ground. Manning quick drop throws, Lloyd with a catch on the comeback, going to make it 2nd and 3rd coming up. This is the perfect situation for the ground game. In theory, you can hand it off, fall forward, and get 3. Let's see what they do here. They hand it off, gets hit, does not fall forward, and gets only 1. Well, I did say it was a theory. 49ers did look like they want to bully the Cardinals on the ground. Here's another chance to make that statement. 3rd and 2, Manning sets a receiver in motion to the right side. It's another handoff up the middle. They will not flinch. Francis and Thompson make the stop. And that's the second drive where the Cardinals forced the 49ers to beat them on the ground, and they stood firm. The front four for Arizona may be missing their best player in Calvin Pace, who had a spinal injury during the season, but they're still stuffing the run. Griffith, he has a lane, but he couldn't squeeze through. This drive will start at the 26. That'll also be the 2-minute warning before the half. Against the Eagles, they scored a pick 6 in the final 2 minutes. Against the Saints, Bolden had the sideline. Can they do it again here in San Francisco? Gordon tries to get the edge, but Bolden can't hold his block long enough. They still get 6 on the carry, and I forgot about our weekly nuts. It looks like Arizona is running down the clock. It's a smart move. You want to give the 49ers as little time left if you fail to get any points on the drive. Guzman to Gordon up the middle, and he gets the first down. Doesn't get any easier than that. Gordon had that big 4th down run on the last drive. He had 21 yards on 7 carries. That's 3 yards a carry, and the 49ers have done a solid job when they haven't broken down. To roll out to the right, plenty of time. Throws, Fitzgerald in stride, being chased. Can't bring him down. It's a foot race inside the 15, the 5. Touchdown, Arizona. They did it again. They scored in the final minute of the first half. Guzman found Fitzgerald, who had his man beat easily. Larry Bird, Larry Legend, Larry Fitzgerald. It kind of makes you wonder why he wasn't in the starting lineup last week against the Saints. Don't get me wrong, Bobby Bowen is good enough, but do you want good enough or do you want the best? With this extra point, the Arizona Cardinals will now be up 10-0 against their division rival, the San Francisco 49ers, and a big thanks to Larry Legend. There's going to have to be a big adjustment for the 49ers going into the half. They haven't gotten too much going offensively. Their best weapon is Peyton Manning, and it feels like they're keeping the ball out of his hands based on the looks that the Cardinals are giving on defense. This is going to be returned past the 20 and brought down at the 27. Less than 40 seconds left in the half. Do they risk cutting the lead down? If they fail, they're giving the ball back to those guys. The Cardinals defense is elite. There's no doubt about it. The Eagles found out how good the secondary was, and so did Aaron Brooks. Manning drops back, throws left, and almost picked off by Carlos Dansby. I think Peyton is learning how tough today will be. Cardinals already beat the MVP and Donovan McNabb in the wild card. They beat one of the most efficient passers in Aaron Brooks in the divisional. Looks like they're bullying the offensive player of the year in the conference. Manning rolls to his right with time, goes deep and tipped by Griffith. Too much mustard on that pass, needed a little ketchup. This is a must-get first down for the 49ers. The Cardinals still have all 3 timeouts. They've scored with less time before. Manning, quick drop. What are those routes? On 3rd down, why would you run a pass pattern short of the first? Make matters worse, it was almost picked off. That was a terrible decision by Dennis Erickson. And he knows it too. The Cardinals are riding high right now, a big play to put them up by 10, and another chance to add points before the half. The 49ers, on the other hand, are struggling to do anything. I did not expect this game to play out this way, considering how their regular season matchup went. Griffith on a decent return, bringing it back to midfield, short field to work with. There's only 18 seconds left in the half. A touchdown here could be all it takes to knock out the air from the 49ers. Guzman in the pocket, pumps it, steps up, and can't fit it into Fitzgerald. 14 seconds left. If you're Arizona, all you need is maybe 20 yards. Chavez has a decent leg. Guzman drops back in the pocket, throws, finds Bolden to get him into range. It would be a 50-yarder from here. I think Chavez can make it, but there's more than enough time to get a little bit closer. It looks like they're going to try. Guzman with the snap, pressure up the middle, throws on the move. He has Bowen one-on-one. He makes the catch. That's going to put them in a better spot for the field goal. There's only 4 seconds left in the half. Do you risk going for the touchdown or make it a 13-point game? And I think you have to take the points here. I am curious to see if he got both feet in bounds. I don't know. It looked like he got 1 foot in bounds. There's no challenge. It's also under 2 minutes, so there's no review. I think the play is standing. The snap, the hold, and it looks good, and it is good. Maybe got away with that completion. There was still 1 second left on the clock, and this will be the final play unless they choose to fair catch it or a penalty. You also have to worry about a return back for a touchdown. It'll be fielded at the 10-yard line. He has space to the left, tries to juke that way, but too late, tackled at the 29, and that will officially be the final play of the first half. Who'da thunk? The Cardinals would be shutting out the 49ers, still half a game to go, but Arizona currently leads 13-0. Welcome back to the second half of this surprising NFC Championship game. 49ers find themselves down by 2 touchdowns, but there's still plenty of time. It's not over till it's over, and let's see if the Sheriff can right the ship. The 49ers will be getting the ball to start the half. They have a chance to cut this lead in half. They haven't gotten much going in terms of offense, but all it takes is one play to change the momentum. This will be fielded near the end zone. It will be brought back past the 20 and tackled at the 23. Let's see what they can do. The game plan for the 49ers should be how can they get the ball into their best player's hands. The best player is Peyton Manning. He drops back, blitz is coming, he makes a defender miss and throws that into traffic. That might be the most impressive athletic play Peyton has ever made. 6 runs, 9 passes. Nice. It's not like they haven't tried to get Manning going, but this Cardinals defense is making it hard. A receiver motions to the right, 2 tight ends to the left, Manning under center. He hands it off to Barnes up the middle, squeezes through and gets 5 on the carry. The ground game seems to be working better than the air, but that isn't saying much. They've been struggling with both. Manning drops back, plenty of time in the pocket, throws, and another wild pass from Manning that falls incomplete. They might get bailed out here, and they do pass interference on the defense, and they'll give them a new set of downs. They're going to get another chance. They have yet to cross the Arizona territory, mind you. They came close a few times. It's another run up the middle, but Thompson and Page are there to stop Barnes at the line. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. The Cardinals have done a great job so far eliminating the 49ers. It's another handoff up the middle. Dexter Jackson blazes through to get him at the line. It's been a tough drive to watch. I think other than that 1 run for 5 yards, the 49ers haven't really gotten anything. They got that PI call. Manning in the pocket, going deep, down the seam, and is picked off by Page. That's the first turnover in today's game, and it couldn't have come at a worse time for San Francisco. Manning has been anything but impressive today. That's a 2nd interception from Page in the playoffs. Had one last week on Brooks. Page was the only safety up high, and he immediately shut down that throw. That was just a terrible decision by Manning. The game continues to get worse for the 49ers. They give up points here, then they can forget about going to the Super Bowl, because with the way they're playing, I'd be surprised if they can even get 1 touchdown, let alone 2. 3 yards on the carry by Gordon. We knew this game was going to be a smash-mouth football game, and for the most part it has been on the defensive side. All things said, the 49ers defense has held the Cardinals to only 1 touchdown. 3 more on the carry for Gordon. Time's running out, and Dennis Green is trying to keep this Cardinals team focused. If there was ever a time to give a spark to your team, this would be it. A stop on 3rd down can do it. Guzman drops back, looks like a screen, but it doesn't even matter. He's sacked before he can blink. That's exactly what they needed. John Engelberger came in completely unblocked on the previous play, a loss of 6 on the sack, and that's going to force a 3-and-out. That could be the play that shifts this game around, as this punt will be inside the 20, fielded at the 10, it's going to be returned, got some blocks, and downed at the 18, and I'll tell you right now, not the most impressive offensive performance I've seen. Might be one of the worst, but surprisingly, they're still in it with a touchdown here. This is where history is made. This is where teams complete the story. This is the drive. There's not a lot of time left. This is when you don't flinch. Manning in the pocket, down the middle, and Woods flinched. Bounced off the pads of Woods, opened down the seam. Maybe they don't want to be in the history books for winning. You come one game away from the Super Bowl. You don't want to be remembered as the team that didn't show up. Manning drops back, they bring the blitz, he goes deep, Woods one-on-one, bobbles, he makes the catch. Curry can't make the tackle. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Carlos Dansby is the closest defender. Touchdown San Francisco, and in one play they cut the lead down to 1 touchdown. Woods is picking out a fan to give a souvenir, and can you believe it? They are not flinching. Dexter Jackson on the blitz and could have had a sack but let up. Woods, who dropped the last pass, almost dropped this one, but he makes the catch, outran Curry, and now they're 1 touchdown away from gaining the lead and getting closer to the Super Bowl. This is beginning to look like it might be a very interesting 4th quarter, and he almost missed the extra point. Would have made it extra interesting. There's the coach telling Woods, good job not flinching. Things are cooking, I'll tell you what. 1 touchdown separates the 2 teams. An extra point for the 49ers could win this game, as this is going to be fielded inside the end zone. Deep kickoff, and it won't be brought out by Sims. Now it's time to see if the Cardinals can put this game away or if the defense can stop them and give it back to the Sheriff. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cardinals lean more on the ground game here, but they're going to need, at the minimum, a field goal or else everything might go south. Gordon takes the handoff for a gain of 3. It looks like they'll be taking to the ground again, trying to run some of the clock and probably make for a more manageable 3rd down. Gordon, following his blockers, gains 4 on the carry. 3rd and 3 coming up. This is a big 3rd down. They already went 3 and out on their last drive. If that happens again, then that could be a sign that they checked out. Guzman in the pocket, takes off with it and takes a big hit by Peterson at the sticks. They give him the 1st down. Coming in clutch. There's a minute left in the quarter after the scramble by Guzman. Rolls out to his right, plenty of time. Has McCormick open over the middle, but threw it too late. Wasn't able to hold on to the pass. Nelson knocked it out. It wasn't a bad pass, just late and could have extended this drive, but I'm more surprised by them choosing to pass over running the clock. They choose to pass here again over the middle and nearly picked off by the hardest hitting safety in the league. Now it's going to bring up 3rd and long, 2 straight incompletions broken up by the secondary. Defensive line spread out, Guzman drops back, pumps, moves around, makes some magic throws, Fitzgerald caught! What a heck of a play! That's going to get him across midfield, and Guzman doing his best at Cunningham impersonation. Fitzgerald with another big game. His first time in the playoffs in his career, and he's been showing why he's the real deal. It helps when you have another number 1 in bold and opposite of him. Guzman with time on the rollout, throws and caught by McCormick at the 30 to get him into field goal range. Earlier on this drive he threw one to McCormick, but it was too late. This time it was good enough to get them closer to adding points. That's also going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. The Cardinals are up by 6, but they're marching. Can they eliminate the 49ers? Welcome back to the final quarter to decide who goes on to the Super Bowl. The Cardinals are in field goal range that could potentially put a nail in the 49ers. We'll see how they play this. Guzman drops back, pressured immediately, and gets sacked before he can release the ball. That might push him onto the edge of field goal range now. Last week, this offensive line allowed 0 sacks on Guzman, but it's been a very different story today. Guzman drops back, setting up the screen, but he's going deep. Bolden inside the 10, but can't make the play. Defender was in a better position. Lucky it wasn't picked off. The Cardinals could play it safe, get enough for the field goal. 17 is a lot. I don't think they expect to get the first here. Guzman in the pocket, going deep back to Bolden, and gets it hit out of him by Darren Sharper. Bolden had it, but the hit forced it out. It's a hospital pass right there. It looked like they're not going to attempt a field goal. They're not trusting Chavez to make it. Instead, they're hoping that they can pin them back and force them to make a mistake. The punt is going to be inside the 5, and Griffith with the worst attempt to catch the ball. Well, that's a touchback. This drive will be a defining drive. They don't need a touchdown yet. They could still get the ball back with plenty of time to tie. Manning drops back. They bring a blitz. He gets rid of it to Woods. He outruns Griffith. There's nobody left to chase him down. Maybe Francis inside the 30, the 20, the 10. Francis can't bring him down. Just like that, they've tied the game in one play. Their last 2 offensive plays, they've already scored as many points as the Cardinals in 3 quarters. An extra point will give them their first lead. Griffith had 2 back-to-back terrible plays, couldn't field the punt inside the 5, then gives up that big touchdown pass. Now the 49ers are leading for the first time today, and it took just 2 big plays. The Cardinals had me in the first half, not gonna lie. It looked like they were going to easily walk away with the win, but Woods broke off 2 big plays that gave them the lead by 1 point. Still plenty of time as this one is fielded from inside the red zone and returned to the 16. Not a great return. All they need is a field goal. No need to panic. Guzman really likes the right side of the field. To be fair, the 49ers have kept Bolden in check on the left side. Guzman in the pocket, he looks frantic. Trying to scramble, avoids a defender, and gets sandwiched at the line. Oh, he does get a yard. It's quite clear that the blocking had Guzman on edge. He doesn't trust them. He makes a change at the line. Looks like the 49ers are bringing an all-out blitz. They snap the ball. They do bring the blitz. He throws it on the move. Fitzgerald incomplete. Put a little too much air under it. The safety got there in time to break it up. It's now 3rd down. Will the 49ers force another 3 and out? Guzman rolls to his right. Plenty of time to the sideline, and they say it's incomplete. Bowen making his argument. Looks like Dennis Green is going to challenge that catch. It was a close one. Just like before the half, they gave him the catch. Let's see if they give him this one. Near the sideline. And I don't know. I think it can go either way, but probably out. Yep, the referee agrees. It's incomplete. Plays stand. Arizona loses one of its timeouts. I think it's clear the game will come down to this final drive. If they give up a touchdown, it's not entirely over, but a field goal still gives them a chance to win in regulation. This is going to be fielded at midfield. It's going to be a good return back to the 35, already near field goal range. The important thing to remember here is the Cardinals only have 2 timeouts. They would need to force a 3 and out, or else the 49ers can run the clock down. Manning drops back, goes deep, Curry in coverage, but Johnson snatches it away. They're going to be at the 11-yard line after that catch. Truth is, that might be good for the Cardinals. It's going to be hard to run the clock down with so little space. You'd expect the 49ers to run the clock, but it doesn't hurt when your guy can moss the secondary. Woods has been all of their offense up to that point. With the way the clock is now, they might be able to run it under 2 minutes. Keep in mind, they can get a first down without a touchdown. They snap it before running all the play clock down and only get 1 on the run, stuffed at the line. This could potentially run down the clock to the 2-minute warning. Manning hands the ball off to Barnes, meets Dansby at the line, and falls forward for 2 on the carry. 3rd down coming up. They do in fact run the clock down to the final 2 minutes of the game. They're spreading out the defense. Barnes in the single back, breaks a tackle, has space, and Dexter Jackson with a stop. That might be the biggest stop in Jackson's career up to this point. Stopped him 1 yard short, and if they gave up that first, the game's over. Instead, they still have a chance to win in regulation. Niners 17, Arizona 13. It was once 13-0 Cardinals going into the half. Since then, the 49ers have come back with 17 unanswered points. This game is truly shaping up to be one for the ages. Their first 2 matchups came down to the final drive, and this one looks like it will too. They'll be starting at their own 22, and they have some work to do since they've gone 3 and out twice since the half started. They've also punted it 3 straight times. Playoff layer is going to have to be extra on this drive if they have any hope of a comeback. They're going to try and spread the defense out. 3 receivers on the field. Guzman drops back, clean pocket, going deep. Fitzgerald can't hold on to it. Slipped through his hands. It's 2nd down now. They want to spread out the defense again. I expect more passing, but there's still enough time on the clock if they want to run. Guzman sits in the pocket, steps up, and led Bolden a little too much. Big miss here. Every 3rd down from here on out is going to be a big one. It is 4 down territory, but if you're the Cards, you want the first here. Guzman in the pocket, throws, Bolden with a catch between two defenders. That's going to give him a new set of downs. You can only shut him down for so long. Every kid dreams of growing up and being the hero that let their team down for the game-winning drive on the biggest stage. Guzman in the pocket, moves up, buying time, and sacked! He was trying to improvise like he did earlier in the game. This is not good at all. They're bringing out the cart for Guzman. Oh, this is terrible for the Cardinals. That means former second-round pick Gray is going to have to come in for him. This man was once considered the face of the franchise, being benched last year. Gray is panicking, throws, and somehow squeezes it into Bolden. The game isn't over yet. There is now officially 1 minute left in the game. It will come down to Gray to finish what Guzman started. He takes the snap, drops back, pressure in his face. He's trying to outrun it, and he's sacked. That's their second timeout. Marcellus Wiley is having a good game, being as disruptive as ever, forcing 2nd and 19. Gray rolls out, buying as much time as possible, throws, and it falls incomplete. Probably better that it wasn't caught. 3rd and 19. Guzman converted the first one. Can Gray pull off the second one? Gray drops back, has the protection, going deep. Bolden tipped, and it's caught! Bolden makes the catch to extend the drive. They're going no huddle, trying to waste as little time without having to use their final timeout. Gray getting under center. He drops back, protection is holding, he rolls to his right. Going to the end zone, incomplete. Oh, Brian Johnson couldn't hold on to the ball, and there's 19 seconds left. Guys, I don't think Guzman is coming back. They still have one timeout left, so the middle of the field isn't out of the question. Gray drops back, way back. Now he steps up to throw. Bowen has a chance, and it falls incomplete. He just couldn't adjust to the ball. Okay, when you make 3rd and 19, 3rd and 10 can feel like inches, right? Gray in the pocket, throws, Fitzgerald down the seam, and he holds on to it. The game will come down to these final 10 seconds. Gray is under center. He takes the snap in the pocket. Fitzgerald, touchdown, Arizona! They've scored in the final 10 seconds to retake the lead. The game isn't over, but it's going to be hard to make something happen after that dagger this late. With this extra point, it will make it a 3-point game. Gray coming off the bench, cold, to lead the team in the final 2 minutes. We are watching history. If you're the Cardinals, do you even risk kicking it off? Let's be honest. They could take it back to the house. Let's see what they do here. It's going to be a deep kick. Not enough to be in the end zone. Well, they could kneel it, but they're not. They'll bring it out past the 20, tackled at the 24 with 3 seconds left. And this will be the final play to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. Will it be the Cardinals, or will the 49ers find a way to pull off a miracle? Manning drops back, throws, and Lloyd is tackled immediately. They're not going to pull off the miracle. That's going to end the game. The Cardinals managed to come back with a man who tried to become the face of the franchise 3 years ago, but the team got a facelift. It looks like this Super Bowl, what was old may become new again. Also, that guy probably shouldn't be wearing that face paint. It's going to be the Cardinals that take on the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and I'll see you there. Oh, before we go, yeah, Guzman isn't going to make it to the Super Bowl. He's out. Such a bummer, too, because the main reason we were in the playoffs to begin with was because of his stellar season. Though Gray looked good enough on that final drive, how long will it take before he reverts to his old ways and just isn't good enough anymore?